Tonight we report on a guilty plea from a man who robbed the freighter Burger King, and hundreds of people turn out for the Stop the Violence March in Moses Lake. What's happening in sports, Sean?
Thanks, Alan. The Running Vikes lose a close one to Spokane, and the Lady Vikings move up in the conference standings. Let's take a glance at our Weather Center forecast.
Good to be with you, everybody. Gray skies across the area with rain and snow across much of the region. I'll let you know if these conditions will persist in the extended forecast.
I'm Alan Troop, and we have all this and much more on Ifiber One News.
From the Ifiber One HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is Ifiber One News, your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is Ifiber One News, and it starts now.
Any freighter man could serve at least 10 years in prison for robbing the freighter Burger King in October. Aaron Shelton, a 32-year-old man, pleaded guilty in Grant County Superior Court to robbery, assault, kidnapping, and theft. Shelton faces between 10 years and 14 years in prison when he is sentenced. Shelton entered the fast food restaurant, walked behind the counter, and began threatening people with what appeared to be a revolver. He ordered the manager to the back of the store and demanded money. Ephrata police officers and Grant County Sheriff's deputies tracked Shelton to a van in the Safeway parking lot. As police officers tried to stop the van, the driver crashed into a utility pole behind Ace Hardware. The van's driver told officers Shelton forced him to flee from police. He said Shelton ordered him to drive through a ditch to try and escape, but the driver decided to hit the utility pole. More than 50 volunteers recently headed out for Grant County's annual point-in-time homeless count. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
Grant County Point-in-Time Homeless Count is a day that starts before daylight. Volunteer counters filed into the Grant County Housing Authority offices Thursday at the Larson community near Moses Lake. There, the Grant County Homeless Task Force volunteers were greeted by smiling homeless program supervisor Stephanie Bonwell. She handed the counters packets containing questionnaires and forms to count people who live outdoors in their cars, motels, or campsites without utility hookups. Bonwell, the Homeless Count's lead organizer, said 52 volunteers were recruited for the Grant County-wide count. Bonwell said one thing was different this year.
We have almost all new volunteers, so I think just we were able to get the word out a little bit more.
Ifiber One News rode along with Brittany Boffman, Homeless Assistance Coordinator with the Housing Authority, out to the Pothole State Park area. Boffman and count partner Joanne Shad, who is Moses Lake United Methodist Church's minister, drove around the Pothole's more populated areas. They cruised campgrounds and lakes looking for homeless families camping out.
We didn't find anybody today, which is a good thing. That means less people are homeless in Grant County.
After the count was mostly completed at noon, the Homeless Task Force's focus moved to the Homeless Connect event at Our Lady of Fatima Catholic Church in Moses Lake. There, homeless individuals and families were offered hot coffee and lunch cooked by church volunteers. They could also get haircuts, take hot showers, and browse through a large selection of secondhand clothes. 8 different assistance agencies were available to those in need.
We have like the Housing Authority, Moses Lake Community Health, Grant Integrated Services, WorkSource, DSHS, and the Health District. The goal of today and the goal of the agencies is not just to give information, it's to provide an actual service.
More than 30 homeless people, including families with small children, showed up at the Catholic Church for food, clothes, and services. Many showed up at the Catholic Church with donations. One of them was Moses Lake High School student Vanessa Rodriguez, who was delivering to the Project Connect event what she put into her senior project.
And I just stood outside of Walmart for the weekend and I just gathered, anything. Like I got travel size hygiene items and any kind of clothing. And then a lot of people gave me money and I made like $60. So Sunday after I was done with my 4 hours, I went into the store, into Walmart, and I just bought like $60 worth of little travel size like shampoo and conditioners. And so
Bonwell said the final count of homeless people in Grant County will be reported later this month. Last year, 177 homeless people were counted, 86 of which were children. I'm Jeff Chu for Ifiber One News.
And now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
And we'll take a short break and be right back.